Hello, hello, hello out there. This is the Master Communicator, Sharon C. Jenkins, and you are listening to Authors Central Station. We are on Afro Vibes Radio worldwide. We're in 180 countries. And you know what? The reason why we're called Authors Central Station is because we're dead center on the literary pulse. So if you want to get your message to the masses, you don't want to be on Author Central Station. You know, you can do a local thing and that's all right. But baby, when your message gets to the world, it changes things.
Absolutely.
And if you are a writer, you want to change things. So you want to be on Author Central Station, give us a shout out. Send me an email, text, you name it. Email to SharonCJenkins at gmail.com, and we'll see what we can do about getting you on the show. But today, we've got two wonderful guests. I have Mary Evans on my left, and I have Kim Garner on my right. And the beauty of these two beautiful women, even though they're writing in two different genres, is they have a passion for helping young men and boys. Now, you would say, you know, Mama Kim and Mama Mary over here, you know, y'all know how y'all be about your mamas and Mama Jenkins. But baby, women change the world.
Yes.
And we believe that that maternal instinct, that power, that inspiration, that exhortation, the ability, the words, resilience, just come alive when you reach out and touch this generation in the place that hurts the most. And we are about reshaping and re-engineering young men and young boys for success. Now, you know, we're going to bring the brothers along. Right, Mary?
Yes.
We're bringing the brothers along, right, Kim?
Absolutely.
But, you know, Mama got to do something too, and that's what these two ladies are all about, okay? So the first thing we're going to talk about is Mary's wonderful book, and I want to show you this book for our Facebook Live, Thunder and Lightning. Am I correct, Mary?
Yes.
And I want to tell you a little bit about Mary E. Evans. She is a member of SCBWI. She's an avid writer of poetry and lyrical content. She has infused her love for education and enlightenment of others by way of sharing an internet site and spoken word appearances throughout the country. So she's sharing on internet sites and doing spoken word. Now, she is a middle school math teacher who loves to find creative ways to reach her students. Mary uses songs and storytelling to engage and ignite learning. Her combined talents have been the driving force behind her first children's picture book, Thunder and Lightning. And we just want to say welcome, Mary.
Thank you, Sharon, and thank you for the invitation.
Girl, don't you know I saw you pop on Facebook? I said I gotta get Mary on the show. And you know me, I don't let nothing stop me.
No.
I'm gonna call folk and say, come on down.
The numbers game, you rolled the right number.
Ain't that a good thing? So, and then we have Luis Perez. He's the professional freelance children's book illustrator, and he's all the way from Portugal.
Yes, he's amazing.
And he did this beautiful book for Mary, so we got to give him his props. Yes,
He
yes,
wants a
yes.
sequel really bad.
Oh, well, it's coming. It's coming. So, Mary, tell us a little bit about who you are and what is your sphere of influence in the literary world.
Well, I've been creative since I had the opportunity to create, probably in my teens, early teens. I had a teacher or two who opened the door to encouraging me to write and to be creative. And to be truthful, when I really started writing, I was in the 9th grade, and if the universe didn't shift on me, I probably would have been Zane before she was Zane.
Ooh.
But God knew something different. He said, nah, you're not going to touch the world that way. So everything I ever wrote is gone. It's like it got thrown away by a relative of mine who you're mad at it when it happens, but then you're thankful when it happens afterwards.
Yes.
So I've always loved children. I've always loved writing. I've loved sharing and being just being creative and coming up with stories. I'm the baby of my family, so a lot of times I was in my head when I couldn't go into anybody else's head, and so I went from head to writing, and that's kind of where I've been in education. I've been in corporate America. I'm just available to do anything that opens my mind to be creative, to affect and influence the masses.
Oh, I love it. Oh, Mary. Oh, that we need to put some money on that statement.
Yes, I need an investor.
Yes. I hear you, girl. I hear you. So tell us a little bit about your book, Thunder and Lightning.
Okay. Thunder and Lightning actually was not a book that was supposed to happen. And the reason why I say that is, just as you shared in my bio, I'm a poet. And so I used to host open mic poetry at a local coffee house back home in Waco, Texas, which is where I'm from. And as the host, you warm up the mic and everything. And so I had this cute little poem called Thunder and Lightning. It kind of had some like movements to it. And it was a quick like 3.5-minute read. And of course I had it memorized, and folks would say, hey, you need to get that turned into a children's picture book. And I was like, okay, that's cool. That's really cool. We know what lightning looks like, but what does thunder look like? And so it took me 6.5 years to find an illustrator, just as you just shared, Luis Perez, who created such a beautiful personification of what thunder looked like, an actual character that kids could relate to and bring to life. And so when I found him and he found me and we found the rest is history.
Wow. So are you going to share a little bit of Thunder and Lightning with us today?
I can literally read the book in 3.5 minutes.
Oh, well, do it, girl. Do
you
it.
Ready to go now?
Yeah, because you know what our listening audience needs to hear Mary. She got that spoken word thing going on.
Yes, I do.
We about to be entertained today. It's a TGIF.
Y'all may have to jump in because there's some parts to it that and so yours.
Kim and I don't mind.
No, absolutely not. Please.
You actually could turn it along the way so where you're doing a live.
Okay.
Okay.
All
give
right.
me about 15 seconds.
So she wants me to turn it. So I'll be the banner today.
Okay.
Okay.
Just don't pass this down to Kim.
Oh, give Kim one. Here, Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
Here, Kim.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it up like this. And it has a ton of literary elements in it, and that's the cool thing about it, is that children, when they hear it, and they become very engaged in trying to like position this the right way. Oh, perfect for me. Okay, and so what I'll do is I'll just read the book to you, and there may be just 1 or 2 question and answers, the same things that I ask the children. So I'll just get started. Thunder and lightning got in a fight. It happened one dim, dark Saturday night. A gang of clouds created a billowy patch while the stars lined the clouds for the ringside match. Thunder in one corner was ready to blow, while lightning suited up to steal the show.
Wow.
Thunder sucked in his breath, deep enough, then belted out a sound so rough and tough. Lightning zipped and he zammed, he zoomed and he zittered, gliding through the clouds without a float or a flitter. Lightning said, shizzle, bizzle, fizzly, heck. And thunder said, ping-a-ponga, hinga right back. Lightning stood tall, a jagged bronze dagger, and flew through the air without a sway or a swagger.
Wow.
Thunder had his fist up, swinging in the air. Lightning swung his sword like he just didn't care. With one huff and one puff, thunder pounded the sky. With a gold-striped wiggle, lightning hissed a war cry. Come on. Thunder swung and he swung, ba-boom, ba-bum, ba-boom, ba-bum. And lightning flung and he flung, pa-cheet-cha-chow, pa-cheet-cha-chow. While the stars sang a song, cheering them on, singing, who will win the fight? Who will win the fight? Who's gonna knock who out of sight? The clouds had their bets on lightning to win, while the stars chose thunder as the next kingpin. The battle raged on till the break of dawn. Look at the stars. The stars nestled in the clouds began to yawn. With one final shout and one final blow, Thunder and Lightning ended their show. Wait, who won the fight? Who won the fight? Who knocked who out of sight? If you really, really, really want to know who won, just look up in the sky and ask the sun.
Oh, that is cute. That is so cute.
There's me. I'll read them, and there's Louise. Yes, so it's Labor of Love, self-published, and it's Thunder and Lightning picture book.
So, Mary, tell us a little bit about self-publishing a children's book. I'm curious.
Before I do, I have to ask you, who do you think won the fight? I ask the children this all the time.
Ooh, I think Thunder won the
Really,
fight.
why?
Because Thunder is stronger than lightning.
Okay, Kim, I'm coming your way. Who do you think won the fight?
I was going to say Thunder as well.
Really?
Yes.
That is so
yes,
interesting.
absolutely.
Why?
I believe that the thunder comes with a certain type of boldness, and the boldness is important, and so that's my vote.
That is so cool. It's an open-ended question that I ask the children, and I don't really care what they say. Some
Oh,
kids say
that
thunder,
is
some
cute.
say lightning.
It causes them to think.
Some say the sun won because the sun ended the fight when the sun came out. I mean, it's just amazing to see them being kind of pensive and reflective about what happened. And then the second question I ask the kids is, when thunder and lightning were fighting, did they ever touch each other?
No.
They sure didn't. So you may get in an argument with a brother, sister, cousin, classmate, or friend, but you're not supposed to do what?
Touch each other.
So it has
I
like
love
a
that.
anti-bullying like theme to it,
Absolutely.
which is very necessary in the world we're living in now. So.
Oh, yes.
And the
For
cool-
adults, too.
Yes. Oh, and I did not tell my illustrator to not have him touch. He just did that on his own. So it was like by the grace of God. It's just been such a beautiful, just coming together, because when I read the first part, or anybody reads the first part, thunder and lightning got in the fight. Well, here's where the boys part comes in. Boys like, it's just in their nature. They want to fight. And so when they hear that first line, they're engaged the entire way.
Yes.
So then rarely do I have a little boy, even little girls as well, but a little boy look off. No, you know why? Because they're looking for contact.
Yes.
And it never happens.
Yes.
It's the greatest thing.
Oh, wow. That is
Greatest thing.
phenomenal.
That is awesome.
So, a little boy would leave this experience with what? What's your intent?
I've had, my like I said, the boys are my target audience, from being able to not even reading the book to reading it all the way up just to old men are like, oh, this is so cool. I mean, it's just weird. It's just a male thing. I don't know, but they take away different things. Now, some of them take away just the rhythm and and the rhyme and the assonance. Some of them take away the whole idea that that they think about the elements. Some of them take away the idea they want to memorize it, which is really cool because they can do that in school for UIL. Some of them take away UIL, Universal Interscholastic League. It's where the kids can compete in public education for things like prose and poetry and things of that nature. So I'm always pushing teachers to use my book because it's a good one. It's only 300 words, so it's easy to memorize. And so and then they're led to want to sing it on their own, to rap it. I've been trying to get people to rap Thunder and Lightning because it rhymes after the Migos rap group. I don't listen to that, but I don't, because I don't have to follow behind any kids because I don't have any children. Like, what are you listening to? But they rapped Dr. Seuss books. I'm like, Dr. Seuss is wonderful, love him, but I think he and his estate have made enough money, so these rappers are helping him get all this publicity and to sell more of their books. And so I'm like, I really would like somebody to rap this book, this Thunder and Lightning book, and so
Love it.
and so I just go into on Facebook and I just post a picture of myself holding up my book. Who's up for the challenge? So I'm thinking of starting a Thunder and Lightning challenge, like Thunder and Lightning picture book rap challenge.
I love it.
Song challenge. So I don't know. Yeah.
So, Mary, you've been an author for how long?
I published Thunder and Lightning 2014.
Okay, so
First
it's been,
published.
what, 4
4
years?
years. I know, it's
4 years.
insane.
So what's the most valuable lesson that you've learned as an author?
Ooh. Which process? Because there's so many processes.
Don't I know?
There's the whole idea is, and I run into a lot of people, a month doesn't go by, because I run into different people, where someone is like, I want to write a book. I've had people tell me to write their book. I'm like, I can't, boo-boo. That's your story. It's not mine. It's just moving outside of your comfort zone, not worrying about knowing everything, because you're never going to know everything. Every step of the way is going to be, oh, I'm glad at least I figured this out, or okay, I need to go ask someone, but to not give up until you see that finished product.
Well, the wonderful thing about you, Mary, is that you bit the bullet and you made it happen. So we'll come back in a few minutes just to let you hear how to contact Mary, and then we're going to talk over here to Dr.
Listen to Afro Vibes Radio, or we'll move into your neighborhood. You have been warned. Don't touch that dial.
Yes.
Yes, we're ready.
We're going to be ready.
Hello, hello, hello. We are back. This is Author Central Station, Sharon C. Jenkins, the Master Communicator, and you are listening to us on Afro Vibes Radio. We are in 180 countries. So if you have a worldwide message, you want to make sure you stop by, because we welcome you. Anybody who has the courage to write a book, we want to open the door to you so that you can get your message to the masses. Now, I want to ask Mary Evans, before she leaves us here with this Thunder and Lightning book, and it's just so powerful, the exercise that she's put together for the children, and how it focuses on the anti-bullying message. Mary, you know, our folks want to know who you are and how they can find you. So can you tell them where you at on the IG and the Facebook and all that kind of
It's really
stuff?
simple. You can just Google author Mary Evans, because I'm going to come up. Or you can, I'm on Thunder and Lightning Picturebook.com is my Facebook page. I do have a public figure Facebook page.
Ooh.
It's like dormant, but in the works right now, because I want to have good content. But you can find me on Instagram, author Mary Evans, Twitter, author Mary Evans. What else is there? Twitter, Instagram,
Pinterest, Facebook,
author Mary
Pinterest,
Evans.
LinkedIn.
That's another dormant one I have to work on. This stuff takes work, y'all.
Yeah,
So
it does.
I mean, it just takes work. So I'm trying to just be good at one, but I'm most active on Facebook right now. So and a lot of things go to Twitter. But yeah, you can. I'm in Waco, Texas. If you're flying me, I will fly. I will visit.
She'll even go to Alaska, y'all.
I actually had an invitation to Canada. I met some Canadians.
Oh.
And they came to Waco to visit. To see the silos with Magnolia and all that stuff, and they actually bought 3 books from me.
Oh, that
So
is
now my book
wonderful.
is in Canada, so I need my book all over the Afro area.
Diaspora. We do this
Yes,
diaspora
please.
thing. So thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
We're going to move over to Cam.
Hello.
Cam, my
So
girl.
excited. So excited.
Kim Garner Simmons, that's my girl.
Oh, wow.
I tell
I love
you.
you.
You know, I
Jenkins.
was at Kim's graduation. And one of the beautiful things about being at Kim's graduation was I got to see her get her doctorate. And it was one of the most proudest moments in my life to see her achieve that.
Thank you.
I mean, I realize that Kim has always been focused on youth.
Absolutely.
And for her to take it to the top, just so she can be a master influencer in her field, that speaks volumes about the integrity and the courage of this young woman.
Thank you.
And she was doing it when she was in her 20s, and she's still doing it.
Yes.
I heard she was over at somebody's church yesterday,
Yes, yes,
trying to
yes,
set up a
yes.
class for young girls. And so,
boy.
Jasmine, we didn't forget you, baby.
Shout out to
we
Jasmine.
helping you out too, okay? We got a beautiful young lady in the studio. Her name is Jasmine, and she's been working behind the scenes, and so I just wanted to give her a shout out. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Kim.
Uh-oh.
At a very early age, Kim Garner was very interested in finding out why her parents were so concerned about the behavior some of the students exhibited in their schools. Both parents are educators. Both parents worked in the same school district. Ernestine Garner chose to delay her educational pursuits after completing her master's degree and didn't begin her doctorate until her youngest daughter completed high school. She maintained her devotion to her family and religious roles. Ernestine was employed as a full-time middle school, high school business education teacher. Now, this is Kim's mom.
Yes.
So in order to get to know Kim, you got to know her mama. They had a house full of educators, okay? And the beauty of it all, Kim Garner graduated with her doctorate from Texas A&M University. So, you know, this girl is deep. And she is also a principal at the alternative school in Aldine school system.
Yes, Aldine. Go
So,
Aldine.
you know, she has rolled up her sleeves and said, we are not going to leave a child behind.
Absolutely.
And I know that phrase triggers some people in the wrong direction, but let me share something with you. If you can get in the trenches and you can help a child turn back to what they were originally designed to turn back to and become that, that's saying a whole lot. So, Dr. Kim, how you doing?
I am awesome and so happy to be here today. Thank you for having me.
We love you, girl. So, we love you too, Mary.
I love you.
So, the name of her book is Fading Glory: Contributing Factors to the Decline of America's Public Schools. And she wrote this book with her mom, Dr. Ernestine Garner. So they got a whole bunch of eggheads in that house with a DR in front of the name. And I think it takes all that. Yes, it does. It takes all that to make a difference in the world, in some worlds, So Dr. Kim, tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, the collaboration between my mother, started early way. It started in high school for me, and the reason it started in high school because at the time I didn't know if I was going to be an alternative school administrator.
Oh, wow.
But my mother was an administrator for an alternative school for all teenage school for pregnant girls.
Oh.
And she had to go on the radio and discuss some of the information on why we still have to continue to push students of color, all backgrounds, no matter what they have gone through, the situation and circumstances. And so I'm watching that. I was watching it, but I wasn't watching it at the time because I was in high school. Mm-hmm. And so the collaboration came about when she decided, both of us were in doctoral school at the exact same time, and she did the investigation on bullying. My investigation and examination and research came from dealing with contributing factors to why students act, and some of the things that they do we don't understand. We just want to send them to the office, or we want to kick them out or expel them, when there are so many other options and so many areas that we need to look for. Restorative practices, which is a big key thing on what we can do before just saying, okay, the student he's too gone or she is too gone and there's nothing else that you can do with them. That's not true.
Wow. And you know what? You've been in the alternative system for how long?
Since 1998.
Oh my God.
This is my third alternative school. I've also been one of the educators for the Texas Youth Commission for the youth prison. And so this is intentional, and it is paramount that I share with the world that while we can, as educators, we can go to mainstream schools, everyone is not going to be the cheerleader and the student council member.
You're right.
Everyone is not going to be there. And so we need to find and reach those students where they are and find out some of the situations, which I'm going to share in a minute, on why students and what we can do to be proactive. And you don't have to just do it in the classroom. One of the biggest examples of someone that assisted a student while doing my research in doctoral school was a clerical staff, and I'll never forget that clerical staff said I wanted to teach a child what credit was like, what good credit was like. And so I shared, and this wasn't a teacher, this was not a principal, I shared that yes, I can give you that money, but I need you to bring it back tomorrow. And I remember that lady, it was an older lady, telling me, and I'm looking and saying, where is she gonna, how is she gonna teach this? She can teach it, but where is she going with it? That student had a background of poverty, brought that money back, and she said, you keep it. I just want to show you an example of what good credit was. And so you can speak and give examples of what you can do to assist in social skills and to uproot positive circumstances in a child's life. It does not have to be in the classroom, because we are all part of making the student of all colors, especially African American male, because there's an issue with that, and we know it. And I'm not going to cover it up because it's out there. We can give them what they need.
It's not too late.
It is absolutely not too late.
It's not too late. And then the other thing that I want to encourage our listeners to do is to start brainstorming on their own and figuring out some things that they can do in their sphere of influence to empower these young men to, be what God designed them to be. So, Miss Expert, come on now, give us some of these restorative practices. I like that word. I'm a bard, right?
Absolutely. Restorative practices are, what are some of the steps? And when I speak to some of the staff members in Aldine and to the parents and the students, my statement is, what are we doing prior to sending a student to the office? There have been certain circumstances where we've tried this, but do you understand a student's individual risk factor? And some of the risk factors listed in my book on page 33 are, do you know if a child has abuse, use of drugs, alcohol, or tobacco? We know you're going to try to teach them objectives, and that's great. Academically, they need those objectives, but do you know any history of aggressive behavior from the parent? Do you know if there's poor behavioral control in the home? Do you know if there's sexual promiscuity in the home? Are there any early involvement in general offenses? What type of economic circumstances are they having? Have they eaten? And again, these are simple things that you do not have to be in the classroom teaching an objective to understand. And the contributing factors are not just student calls. We say, well, the student just he's done this, this, and this, and this. Some of it could be adult calls. It's not always student calls, because those restorative practices should be something that we do prior to sending a student to the office. And are we following those? One of the questions
consistently too.
Yes.
Dr. Kim.
Yes.
Consistently.
One of the questions I asked my teachers is, when you had a conversation with the parent, I talked to them, and I said, what did they say? Not just that you call the parents. So we need to look at some of the contributing factors instead of stating that, oh, well, this student cannot make it, or this student is bad. And so those are the contributing factors, and there's a lot more to be said about that, because some of it, again, as adults, it's not, you don't have to be a teacher to know that. Did you speak, and did they eat breakfast? And so those are important points that I point out to not just teachers, but to all who come in contact. And that is why, and I can appreciate Mary's book in Thunder and Lightning, because when I was reading it, I just had a 3-year-old state to me the other day that they were ready to fight. And I asked them, I asked the student, why were you, and it's not a student on my campus, but why are you wanting to fight? Because somebody did something to me. And so those become uprooted situations that's learned in the early behavior, and we're not even paying attention to those.
Right,
so by the time the thunder hits the lightning, we're saying, well, I knew they were going to hit them. No, we didn't. So those are certain situations that I think, and it needs to be done early on, 3, 4, 5. That you don't have to be in high school to know those things.
So as a parent, and you're a parent.
Yes.
As a parent, what are some things that parents can do? Kids are home for summer vacation.
Great question.
What can they do now to prep them for the new school year?
For the new school year, we, of course, academically is an expectation in my home. We always look at the objectives that they're about to learn. So my child is about to leave 7th grade going to 8th grade. We're already diving into 8th grade objectives, because it's expected that you know that, and as African American male, he has to be cognizant of what's expected of him. However, socially, you can teach those, you can have those conversations between my son and the family. What can you do if you get upset? Do you always have to hit back? Do you believe? Do you know who you are, and do you know whose you are? Right. So when someone says something to you, you don't have to use your fists. Now, again, in certain circumstances, if there's no physical, you just have to walk off. And sometimes in our community, there is a concern that, well, that makes me weak. Well, you have a blurred vision of what weakness is, because in the future, you're gonna have to explain that to someone. And so what I do with my son is I give him examples, and he's been approached, and he's a pretty big boy, but he's been approached, but he's learned how to use his head to think first and know who he is. And everything that's stated may not be true. And so just giving small examples of that during the summer between siblings, that's a perfect example. You have 2 siblings in the house, like my sister and my brother. And I had more conversation with my brother than my sister because we were closer in age. But we learn early on that you don't always have to use your fists.
That's right.
And that's a great example of Mary's book, The Thunder and the Lightning. So I like the way these two kind of mirror the whole expectation of what is socially important. And specifically, I train him and understand that with regards to what's going on in the United States politically, you have and you must be cognizant of your surroundings and what might be expected of you. What might be expected of you. Do you know what's expected of you? And so I ask him questions to see where his head is.
Oh, wow. Wow. You're a great mom, Kim.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope he thinks so as well.
He does.
And my daughter, she's the exact same situation. She's 8, but she's a little bit younger. But the exact same story. Do you know who you are?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. You know, I'm going to have you back because we're going to do a panel of educators in August.
I'd love to come back.
And we're going to talk, and Mary, you just drive on back down. We're going to talk about some preparatory things that parents can do to equip their kids to have success in school in this current environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and everyone will be an author, by the way. So we want to say, Dr. Kim, give them your contact information because we're about to say goodbye to Afro Vibes audience and Off the Central audience.
Okay, a couple of them, and I'm gonna move quickly because I know we're on time. LinkedIn, you can find me at Kim Garner Simmons on LinkedIn. Under Facebook, it's under AJ Belser, AJ Belser, BEL, B as in boy, BELSER. And then also my email, if you want to reach me at any time, kgsimmons44 Again, kgsimmons44 And I'm going to stop there for the lack of time. But again, if you have any questions or you want to contact me about some of the circumstances regarding public schools and how to socially equip our students, emotionally equip our students, behaviorally equip our students, anytime, I will be there to assist you.
Thank you, Kim. And let me tell you guys something. I've seen Kim in action. And when she tells you her heart is to bringing out that individual to their best, regardless of what they've done in the past, I've seen her do exactly that and lend compassion where no one else would lend compassion. So I want to thank Mary and Kim for being on the show today, and most importantly, I want you to leave this conversation listening audience with this: no one is a garbage pail kid.
Love it.
No one is a garbage pail kid. Every child that is birthed on this earth has a divine purpose, and we have to be good stewards of that purpose. So when we abort our responsibility to take care of the gifts that we've been given, then we get garbage pail kids.
That's right.
But nobody comes to us as a garbage pail kid.
That's great.
And I just want to say thank you for tuning in. We want you to know that we love you. And if you're in San Antonio, drop by the NAACP conference and meet Ms. Jenkins.
Yes.
But Kim will be back and Mary will be back. We're going to do a panel because we really need to spend some time on equipping our kids for the new school year. Bye-bye. Have a great week. And remember, I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
That's what I'm saying bye to you. Bye.
Listen to Afro Vibes Radio, or we'll move into your neighborhood. You have been warned. Don't touch that dial.